I'm back with another products I've hit pan on update. I have 11 new pans to share with you since the last time I did this video, which was back in September of last year. So it's been 6 months. It's taken me a lot longer than normal to get a bunch of new pans. I don't know if it's just because I'm in the process of finishing a lot of things that I already have pan in, but it just took me a long time to get enough new pans to have another update. And I have 11 to share. So I'm gonna start with the oldest, the ones I hit pan on first, all the way to my newest pans. And the first two are from my Pan Those Eyeshadows project from last year. So that's how old these are. And the first one is Derry from the Shroud Cosmetics It's Freakin' Bats palette. This was, again, it was in my Pan Those Eyeshadows update, and I really liked using this as a base and then putting other transformer shades like duochromes and even just metallics on top because this gave them a really nice base. And I really loved it. It was a good time of the year to be wearing colors like that, like in the fall and winter. And I just really love it. I'm glad to see a pan in this palette because I do reach for it a lot, albeit during a specific time of year. So that's my first pan, and then the other one is a second shade also from my Pan Those Eyeshadows project, and this is a single from Tarte. I don't know if they still sell these, but there was a time where they had these single shadows. I think they were like $14 a piece. I have a couple of them and I really liked them at the time. I don't know if I would pay $14 for this type of single because this is just like a metallic taupey color. And I did really like it. I liked pairing it with that Derry shade pretty often. And I mean, I love a pinky shimmery color. This is kind of right up my alley. And this one was a little bit more cool toned than some other ones that I have. The pink in it is still pretty taupey. So this was beautiful. I loved it. Obviously, I'm gonna keep it and still use it. And then the next four shades are all from the palette or the quad that I'm trying to pan currently in my project pan. This is the Charlotte Tilbury quad in Pillow Talk, and I am happy to say I have hit pan on all four shades. Some of them are almost finished. I've used them so much, so the pans are pretty big. This one took me the longest, but these mattes are no joke. Like, they take forever to hit pan. I probably used both of them over 100 times before I was able to get pan on them. So 4 of the 11 pans I'm talking about today are just from this quad, so this is a 4-in-1. And then the next one is both a pan and an empty to share, and that is from the Sigma Color Correcting Duo. I'm in light to medium. The first one I hit pan in, and then I ended up using it so much that I finished it. So this one's an empty. It's technically a pan. You could call this pan number 12 for this update. And then I did hit pan on the other side as well. And this was a lighter pinky shade, and this one is a little bit deeper and a peachy shade. And there isn't a lot of product in these duos. In both pans combined, you get 1.52 grams. For reference, the Flower Beauty one is like 4.6 grams. This Charlotte Tilbury one is 2.5 grams. This one from Becca is 4.5 grams. This one from Pixie is 3 grams. So for it to be 1.5 grams, it's definitely not a lot of product in there, and this full price is $30. I have one more eyeshadow to share, and then the rest of them are face products. And the next pan is Shredded from the Colourpop Goin' Coconuts palette. This is just a matte cream shade. I use this pretty much every day, sometimes just to set my eyeshadow primer, and then sometimes I use it on the lower lash line to kind of brighten that place up. And then sometimes I'll just wear it on the inner corner or like the first half of my lid just to have a brightened matte finish on my eyeshadow. All right, like I said, the last 3 are face products. 2 of them are blushes, which is awesome. It's not every day that I hit pan on a blush. One of them is almost finished. You probably saw this in my most recent Project Pan update. And the pan in this is enormous. It's pretty much all pan at this point. I just have a little bit gathered around the outer edges of the product, and I am so excited. I really like this blush. It's my oldest blush in my collection, so I'm glad to be going through it, and I love opening this up and seeing this giant pan. The next blush is a mini Hourglass blush. This is in the shade Mood Exposure. This one also has a waffle pan, and so you can kind of see it there, and this is very, very flat in there. The type of brush I use to go in does pick up a pretty even amount of product, so there isn't a lot around that pan. I think this will be the next blush that I finish after the Milani one is done. And this one is so nice. It doesn't have any glitter in it. It does have one of their ambient lighting powders mixed in, and this color is just so beautiful. It's kind of like a plummy brownie color, but something that's light enough to still suit my skin tone really well. And I do really like this. This is a beautiful color. And the last one is a bronzer. This is a bronzer you can't get anymore. It's from BareMinerals. It's their Invisible Bronze in Fair to Light. And this reminds me a lot of like the dim light bronzer or the dim light powder from Hourglass. Maybe a little bit darker, but it's very, very similar in formula, and it's even a baked product as well. I also have waffle pan in here, and with it being baked, it does have a very beautiful skin-like finish. It's not glittery, and I'm sad that this is discontinued. This is a really nice bronzer. And that's it. That was a pretty short update, even though I did have 12 pans to share, mainly because 4 of those 12 were from the same quad, so I showed them to you all at once. I do not have a lot of products currently in my collection that are close to pan, so I don't even know when my next update is coming. There was a point in time where I was doing an update like every couple of months, and now I can't even tell you how long it's going to take for me to have another 10 or so products to share. I do have a playlist. I have 14 other videos where I show you pans that I've hit in my collection, and so I will link the playlist in the description box if you'd like to see more. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video.